This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So guys, in the last session, I was majorly covering on, okay, all the types of chats we have, right? In today's session, let's get into the story preferences, the story export, the story settings. Okay. So guys, now if I go on to the story preferences, okay. In general, if you see here, guys, for every widget, like whenever I create any chat, I manually added borders to each and every widget. Okay. I manually added borders, right? But in general, what you can do is you can set them in the story preferences itself so that whenever, okay, when you set them in the story preferences, whenever you go create any widget, by default, the borders are present. Okay. And also you can give some background colors to the pages, etc. Everything. For everything, you can set up your styling by default at the story level. Okay. So guys, if you see here, you can give some background colors to pages also. If you don't select any widget and go to the designer mode, you'll see page styling options. You see the styling options for page. Okay. Uh, you see a page styling option. So, but in general, if you don't select any widget and go for designer, you'll see the page styling options. Okay. So in general, we can give different background colors to pages, different background colors to widgets also. We can give different background colors to pages and different background colors to widgets. Okay. But what happens is, if I give different colors to different pages, it will look very odd. We need some uniformity among the pages. So that's the reason we make use of, we set all these settings or preferences at the story level itself. Okay. We don't really do a page level settings or widget level settings. To maintain uniformity, we maintain story level settings itself. We call them as story preferences. So here you see, I go to the file, edit story. Here you see an option called story preferences. In the edit story, you see story preferences. Guys, whenever we build any new story, the first step we do is we set up the preference of the story first, and then we'll start working on building the widgets. So for the first time, I don't want to, as it is for the first time, I don't want to set up the preference on the day one itself. So I didn't set up the story preferences. I focused on building the widgets. From the next stories onwards, first step I do is I set up the preference and then I start working on the widgets. Okay. So now you see page settings and tile settings. So in the page settings, I go to the responsive page. Okay. The page background, I can give either color, gradient or image. If I give color, you can give some background colors to a responsive page. You can add your, if your organization, you want to add that organization logo as a background, you can add some image as a background, or you can go for gradient also. Okay, if you want to add your organization logo as a watermark, you can make use of image option. But in general, we don't do go for image, guys. We either choose between color or gradient. If you go for gradient, you'll see these are the gradients. Like some will be on one side, it will be dark, and one side it will be light, thick and thin. I want my gradient to be always light, so I'll pick this. Gradient direction is horizontal or vertical. I'll go vertical. Means on the top it is dark, on the bottom it will be light. Gradient direction, I go vertical. Okay, fine. Now I go to the canvas page. In the canvas page, we cannot add any gradients. I can give only background color to a canvas page. Let me give some background colors to canvas page. That is for responsive page. These are settings for responsive page. For canvas page, okay. See, background color should be always very light, guys. You should not Okay, it should not dominate your widgets. Should be always light. And here in the canvas page, I have an option to show grid. If I use the option show grid, it will show us small grids on the page. And your page size is by default dynamic. Dynamic means you keep on adding more widgets, page size will increase, right? So I created a responsive and a canvas page. Settings for responsive page, I given background colors to response and canvas page, and I also added grid. So this settings you want to apply to only new pages, lanes or tiles. If you choose this, it will be applicable only to new pages. If you choose this, it is applied to all pages and all lanes and all tiles. I repeat, if you choose this, it is applied to only new page. If you choose this, it is applied to all pages. I want this to be applicable to all pages. So I choose this option. Let's say, okay, apply. Guys, now you see, for canvas page, you see, this is green and you see a grids. For responsive page, so it's taking this much time. It's just a moment. Okay, now I see it got refreshed. So if you observe carefully, guys, so two things. So you see now your canvas page is in blue and your responsive pages are in green. We given some background colors to the widgets, but these grids are not uh, giving me right picture, guys. What I can do, I can go to the story preferences again. Okay, I observed two issues, guys. One, if you see all the borders, whatever I given, they all are gone. You see, I don't see any borders here. In any page, I really don't see any borders. because the reason also I'll tell you, I don't see any borders, and also in the grid on the response page, I'm seeing some grids which are not giving me a correct picture. So if you see here, in this case, let's say edit story preferences. I go to the canvas page settings. I don't want to see the option show grid. Okay. Now, if you see here, I applied my not only page settings, even tile settings were also applied to the all pages. If you see here, by default for chats and geomaps, the default border is no border. If you see here, the default tile border is no border. That's the reason it is not showing any border. What are the borders we written, right? They all are overwritten. What are the borders we given? They all are overwritten with the page settings, story preferences. So let's say now I'll give all borders with 2 pixel width to all chats and geomaps. And standard color palette also I'll choose this. So for chats and geomaps, I do my settings. For tables, now I go to the tables. For tables also the default tile border, I give all borders 2 pixel width, and default threshold style I'll go for color values. Okay. And in the font, guys, for tables, I want my font to be by default like Times New Roman. I want my font in the tables to be like Times New Roman. So your tables, right? What are the data you see in the tables? You'll see it in Times New Roman. So I'm now going for story level settings for all the tables. So any table you create, it will follow these settings. It will have all the borders. If you have any threshold created in the table, like even in grid page also, it will create an option with color values. Font will be Times New Roman. I have two tables in the story, right? One table is in manager analysis page, a canvas page, another is grid page. Grid page also contains table only, right? So if I go to the text box now, so I did my preferences for tables. Now for text box, I'll go all borders with 1 pixel width. Font, okay, I'll go with Vardhana. So all the data in the text box will be in this font by default. Then I don't have any headers, so I'm okay, no problem. Shapes also, I don't have any shapes. Input controls, you see, for collapsed input control, I'll go for all borders with 1 pixel width. For expanded input control also, I'll go all borders with 1 pixel width. Others also, I'll go all borders with 1 pixel width. We are given all the borders for everything. For chats, tables, text boxes, shapes, input controls, others, for everything. Whatever I have, I given all borders, and for tables and text boxes are given a different font. Right now, let's say, okay, apply. Guys, now you see this much better. Okay, so means from the next story onwards, no need to go and add all the borders every time for every widget. No need to independently go and add the borders. You can simply okay, set the story preferences first and start creating the pages. So now if you see here, you see very beautiful story now. So now you see the stories in very beautiful formats. Cross sales page. Then if I go into the manager analysis page, guys, you see here, you see now the font was different in this table. The font was different. It is like what we say. The font is Times New Roman here. It's not a default font. Okay, it's Times New Roman. So you go to sale details, guys. There also you'll see it as Times New Roman only. And you see the font got changed in your tables. Okay, and you see the threshold is color values. You're seeing it as color values. Go to location analysis page and advanced options. Okay, so here we created this page. We also set the story preferences. So guys, from now onwards, like whenever you build any story, first set your preferences and then start building the stories based on the preference. Okay, clear? Any questions, anyone? And here you see in this, here you see the font was changed in the text box, like net sales by product is users. It is where the font was different. Okay, completely. Wherever you see the text box, the font was completely different. You see, the font is completely different here. So that is about the story preferences. Okay, I set my story preferences. Then let's go. Here you go. In edit story, you have an option of story details also, guys. So here you see, this is your story technical name, Western sales analysis. And this is the description of your story, retail sales analysis and pest and use and planned events model. You want to change the description of your story, you can change your description here. You want to make your story as a favorite, so you can make this as a favorite. Okay, and also we can add some tags to your story, guys. For suppose this story is developed as part of sales and operations reporting. Okay, so I just give it as sales. Sorry.
Satya, your voice is too low actually.
Same for everyone.
It's fine for us.
It is clear for us.
Some issue at your end, please go check. Okay, so here you see we got like sales and operations. I can add few tags here, guys. Like for suppose this dashboard is part of sales and operations dashboard, and it is, you got like releases, right? For suppose it was built in release 3, release 4, release 5, like that, right? Okay, so you can add some tags just for more clarification on your dashboard story. Okay, the story details, you can choose your language also. Okay, you want to see all your descriptions in a language, so I'll go English only. Fine. Enable optimized mode. Right now I clearly mentioned it. We got two types of stories, like classic design experience and optimized design. I'll speak about optimized mode in the upcoming sessions. Okay, Explorer also I'm gonna cover today. I didn't cover Explorer yet. Once I cover Explorer, I'll speak about this. I'll speak about that option. Okay, so I'm fine. So here you see Enable Explorer and enable Data Analyzer for supported widgets. I'm not enabling any. So generally, we don't enable these options at all. We should never enable Explorer for all chats. I'll discuss what is Explorer, then you understand. Enable Data Analyzer for all supported widgets. We never do these things. When I speak about Explorer and Data Analyzer, you understand about them. That's fine. So here in the page details, I'm not giving anything. So guys, in the resort, you can give something like, so to what it falls into. I'll pick this as it falls into sales and marketing. The resort I'll pick for this story is sales and marketing. So this falls into sales and marketing module. So here you see a lot of options, guys, like procurement, finance and IT, sales and marketing, research and development, management, human resources, production logics. And if it is any subsidiary, you can pick that up. So my story right now belongs to sales and marketing. I'll pick it as sales and marketing. Language is English.
So Satya, can we define new resorts as well?
No, you cannot define your resource, man. We put it in subsidiary. It is something else. But one thing I say is maximum stories falls into this, right? Anything you take,
Okay.
if it is anything related to vendor, material management, right? It falls into procure management. Finance, that's a big thing altogether. Sales and marketing, big thing. Research and development. Okay, this is small. So you have HR, production and logistics. So what else? You see in an organization. Anything on expense management, you put it in management. Right? Maximum this resort works. Okay. So it's just like a classification, right? Like to which functional area this dashboard belongs to. Okay. Okay. So given the resort, the language and everything. And guys, you can also add some background image to the story. Like once you place this story in a portal, right? So what image you want to show. So you can add an image also here. Let's say add an image. Okay. And so here I have one image I downloaded. I just put that image. It's a monthly sales report. I say it as. Hmm? I just put some background image also here for the story. So what happens is whenever the story we right now created a story here right in SAP Analytics Cloud, but what next? We'll put it in a portal, enterprise portal. So there it will come up with a logo, some image, right? That image will be this. Okay, in the story details are given tech name, description, some what do we say, tags to the story, background image to the story, resort, language. Okay, so what is the story view mode and explorer mode? I'll cover it very clearly, except that I just created. So this story is optimized for iOS platform. Yes, iOS also it is optimized because you have responsive page. It is enabled for the iOS. Okay. Okay, let's say save. So I set my story details. I also set my story preferences. Okay. So now here you see in the edit story, story details I set, story preferences I set. Okay. So then query settings, it's for performance. I'll speak about it. Smart Insight settings, guys. This is one option I'll cover during Smart Insights. When I start covering the Smart Insights, I'll speak about Smart Insight settings. Okay. So then here I go story save. Okay. You can actually export this story also, guys. Here you see an option called save. In the save, you have an option of story export. Okay. You can also export your story into a PDF or a PPT formats. Okay, you see file type is PDF. PDFs are very frequent, so I'll make it as PPT PowerPoint. export this story into a PowerPoint also. You want all the pages or you going for specific page range? Guys, generally, you can choose whatever pages you want, or you can go for all pages. Okay, I don't want the grid in a PPT, guys. I really don't want to show the grid page in PPT. Okay, so if you want to show the grid page, here you can have an option called, you want to have the entire grid page in one page, use an option called whole grid in one page. Or if you want to split your grid data into multiple pages, you can use this option. Like I say, all columns, and I go 200 rows. That means 200 rows in the first page, next 200 rows in the second page, next 200 rows in the third page, like that. So here I have the grid page data will be seen in 4 to 5 pages with 200 rows each. Okay, in my case, I'm not going for grid. In this case, I don't want all the pages. I'll go for a page range like 1 to 4. First 4 pages. Come, I don't want fifth page, which is my grid page. 6 to 8. Total 7 pages I have. Except fifth page, I'm importing all the pages. Fifth page is a grid page. Okay. First 4 are response on canvas pages, guys. Fifth is grid, and sixth and seventh are again responsive pages, canvas pages. I'm sorry. So I want all the pages except 5. So I went with 1 to 4, 6 to 7. And also, if you want to insert an appendix at the end, it will insert one more page that gives you an appendix. Okay. So here I say, also you can set a batch export by story filter. You can also set up a story filter there. I'm not giving any story filter. So let's say export. I pick the option now. Let's say export. It now gets exported into a PPT. Oh my God, guys, I can select this export in backgrounds also, but I think I didn't select the background. It is exporting directly. That's okay. It won't take much time. Let's wait for 1 minute or so. The story will be exported. Okay, let's wait for a minute. Okay, guys, just give me a minute, please. I'll be back in a minute. Just a minute. Okay, guys, now you see this has been downloaded. Right, this is how you see all the pages in a PPT format. So generally, if you're giving it to some users like who don't have access to the stories and you want to present to them, you can also export the story into a PPT format and present in PPTs. Right. So guys, I shown you story settings, story exports, story preferences. Okay. And also we can create story as a template. Here I have an option, right? Story as a template. So here in the save, we have an option of saves. You all know save as. Guys, you want to make a copy of this story and start working on that, you can make use an option of save as. So what happens with save as is, guys, generally when we are, for suppose we already built a story, it went into production, it was live in the production. So user came with some changes, right? They asked for some changes. If it is a simple change, we'll make it in the story itself. If it is something complex and you don't want to break the original story, so what we do, we'll first save as a new story. We'll take a copy version by using the option save as. Okay, and we'll try to make all those complex changes in the copy version. So once they are successful, well validated and tested in the copy version, then we'll apply the changes to the original dashboard. Okay, right. So for that, we can make use of an option called save as. Okay, right. So and then here you have an option called save as template. So you see an option called save as a template. Okay. So guys, if I use the option save as template, okay, it will create a template out of this story. So on all pages, you'll see all the pages except grid page. I don't want to see the second page margin analysis. So it will create a template with 5 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, okay. So now you see, we created a template out of this story. First, let me save this. So here I go. So this is your story, top one. And here you see a template was created out of this story. If I open the template, so it will create as a placeholder, guys. The template will be always created as a placeholder. So you can create a new story by placing the similar object. So you see, you can create a column chat here. You can create a bullet chat here, bar column chat here, and input control here like that. Numeric pointer chats here. Okay, if you say add in place, choose your model and you can start working on it. I'm not going for a template. So guys, whenever you create a new story also, for suppose, here you go. When I start creating a new story, I can start the story with a responsive or a canvas page here. I can either start the story with a responsive canvas page here, or you can choose a template also, guys. I can choose a template. So that story will follow this template. So the newly created story will follow the same existing template of the story. So guys, if you got similar requirements, okay, Okay, guys, if you got similar requirements, right, and so you want multiple stories to look alike, so we can make use of a template. But I'm saying, right, in general, no two requirements. So here it is reporting, guys. We are not doing any data modeling or something to follow some guidelines. It is all user specific things, right? So this is more about user requirements. So no two requirements are same, and we never use template as a reference. We never ever use templates as a reference to build the stories. Okay, because every story is different, every requirement is different. All right, similarly, so I shown you an option, right? Like how do you make a template out of a story? All right, so guys, we created, so I'm working on the story options, right? In the edit story, I set my story details, story preferences. In the save, I saved as a template. I created an export version of the story, right? And also you can convert into optimized design experience, guys. I clearly mentioned your story has two experience modes, classic design mode and optimized design mode. Once I start working on optimized design mode, I'll clearly cover, okay, how optimized design experience work and how do you convert a classic story into an optimized design also. I'll clearly convert for sure, but not this is not the right time. Okay, so copy paste, fine. Sharing options I'll cover, guys. So during administration, I'll cover how we share this stories or folders with the end users. Okay. So, but one thing I didn't cover is like story performance, guys. How we get performance reporting performance on SAP Analytics Cloud. Okay. So story performance. If I go into the details of this. So SAC reporting performance, guys. See, a story can be built on two types of models. One, a live model. If your connection is like a live connection, guys, like if your source is BW or HANA or S4 HANA, where we are consuming the existing data models available like BEX queries or CDS views or calculation views that are available in your systems, the model will create his live model. So means data modeling happens in your backend system. We'll consume it as a live data model. Okay. Whereas in case of an import model, so we physically extract the data from SAP or non-SAP applications, from SAP applications like ECC, SuccessFactors, Ariba, Fieldglass, even from S4 HANA, we import the data into SAP Analytics Cloud and we do data modeling within SAP Analytics Cloud. Even we can import data from non-SAP systems also like Google BigQuery, okay, Amazon S3s, okay, Microsoft Dynamics, okay, Dynamics CRM, NetSuite CRM, Salesforce, from different SAP and non-SAP applications, we can actually import the data into SAP Analytics Cloud system and physically store the data within SAP Analytics Cloud. Do data modeling within SAC. That is one connection. So we have live connection and import connection, right? As in case of live connection, the data model is live model. In case of import connection or acquire connection, data model is import model. You know this already. Okay. So guys, in case of a live models, you see, uh, so because the entire data modeling happens in the backend system, the data, see guys, in case of live connection or live model, we don't physically extract the data into SAP Analytics Cloud. I repeat, in case of live connection or live data modeling, we are not extracting or we are not staging data within SAC. So the entire data is present in the backend systems only, like your BW or native HANA systems. In case of live connections or live modeling, so the entire reporting performance is highly dependent on your source system because the entire data management happens in backend system. So your reporting performance is heavily dependent on how quickly you're rendering the data from your source system. Okay, that's the first point. In case of an import connection, say the live connection happens with these systems like BW, HANA, S4 HANA, DataSphere, and DataSphere. So with these systems, you see a live connection. So if there is a live connection in place and live modeling in place, the entire reporting performance is highly dependent on source system. So if your source is quick, okay, if they're able to read the data quickly from the database, so your reporting performance on those models will be very quick. Okay. Uh, and guys, in case of an import connection, okay, in case of an import model, import connection or import modeling, okay, so we see high performance because first major point is SAP HANA acting as a database for SAC system. For SAC system, SAP HANA acts as a database. HANA Cloud acts as a database. So all the data is stored within HANA database, which gives you heavy reporting performance. Okay, and there are some extra options like one-page refresh and parallel processing. I'll cover it. I'll quickly cover about this. Okay, just give me a moment.
Usually, most of the cases, which connection will be preferred, sir? Today in real time,
Both.
both.
You see both. Just a moment, please. Okay. So guys, in case of live or import connections, we see high performance in the SAC reporting. Why I tell you. See first guys, if it is a live connection, the entire data resides in source system. We are not getting or storing the data in SAP Analytics Cloud, right? You're not loading any data into Analytics Cloud. You're not staging any data in SAC, right? So now performance should come from the source system or in case of live connection. as the data management, as the data is present in the source system, so the performance should come from source system. But whereas in case of an import connection, we physically import the data into SAP Analytics Cloud and we store the data in Analytics Cloud, right? So here the performance should come from SAC only in case of import. Okay, guys, one quick reference for any reporting performance is, so guys, I make this statement a lot many times. So wherever you go, so your reporting performance is heavily dependent on how quickly you're reading the data from your backend database. I repeat this statement once again. Your reporting performance is highly dependent on your database, guys, on where you're actually storing the data, how quickly you're rendering the information from the database. Because guys, whenever a story gets executed, right, what happens? It will hit the database and try reading all the required data from the database, right? So your reporting performance is directly proportional or directly related to your reading performance from the database. Okay, so in our case, in case of an import model, guys, SAP Analytics Cloud resides on HANA database. SAC is a system which uses HANA as its database. HANA Cloud acts as a database for SAC. So here, in case of an import models, we get a high reporting performance because of our database, that is SAP HANA. Okay, even in live connections and even in live models also, guys, we get high performance because even your source systems, right? What are the source systems I mentioned, like BW maybe classic versions are an Oracle database, but BW, most of the organizations are right now using either BW on HANA or BW for HANA, right? So which is on HANA database again. Okay. So BW powered by HANA use HANA as a database service, but BW for HANA is like a more integrated system, right? Then you see native HANA by default is on HANA database. S4 HANA by default resides on HANA database. We cannot change the database for these systems, and even DataSphere is by default on HANA. So these systems are by default on HANA. By default, they cannot be built on other databases. Even BW 80-90% of the systems are right now on HANA database only. Okay. There might be some systems here and there which are still working on classic BW versions. Okay. So you see, even in live connections also we get high reporting performance because your source system resides on HANA database. So whenever we execute a story, it will hit your database and try reading the data from the database, whether it is live connection or import connection, guys. It will try to hit the database because data always gets stored in the database and needs to access or read the data from the database. So we get the reporting performance here because SAP HANA acts as a database here, both for live and import connections. Okay. So then we got some additional options like one page refresh in the sense, see guys, maximum reporting performance comes from the database only, guys. Wherever you go, whatever reporting solution you take, the reporting performance comes from the database only. Okay, wherever you go, so anything you see, if your database is very it has got some heavy lifting capabilities, so it obviously reporting performance will be very quick. And the beauty with SAP HANA is, guys, I think most of you know, right, what makes HANA so powerful. Okay, I don't want to really go into the HANA details and cover the HANA details because that goes as an off topic for me. So I clearly stated, okay. So what makes HANA so powerful, so quick? So first, it's an in-memory architecture or in-memory computing, guys. Okay, it's an in-memory database where RAM is directly present. Okay, where data gets stored directly in the RAM. Instead of processing the data from disk to the RAM, it will directly store the data in the RAM, and processing and computing directly happen from the RAM. Okay. So in memory means another name for memory is RAM, guys. Memory is also known as RAM. So means data will be stored within the RAM. Data gets stored in the RAM itself, and processing happens directly from the RAM. Processing, computing, everything happens from the RAM, so that there is no processing time between disk and RAM. Generally, traditional databases, what they do is they store the data in the disk, and get the data into the RAM and process the data in the RAM. Whenever a report gets executed, first it will go hit the disk, get the data from the disk to RAM, and then it will start doing all the data processing and all data calculations happen in the RAM. So time taken to get the data from disk to RAM is what we call it as processing time. But whereas in HANA, data is present in the RAM and data is present in the calculated format, pre-calculated format. So data is already pre-calculated, guys. You no need to run the computing again during the run times. So data is in the RAM and data is in pre-calculated state, so you can simply process and get the data. So you no need to run the calculation and processing during the runtime. So it's one of the biggest features of SAP HANA, guys, in memory computing. Then it has got a two-tier architecture, like inbuilt application layer under the database. Guys, you can actually go, you'll find lot of stuff in the YouTube about HANA's performance. I really don't want to cover them because it will take one and a half session for me, which is like an off topic for us, right? Two-tier architectures. And then one of the main reasons why SAP HANA gives heavy reporting performance is because of columnar database, guys. Two major factors contributes to reporting performances in memory. First major concept, it's an in memory. So data directly is present in the RAM. And second, it's the columnar storage, guys. One of the main reasons why HANA is a preferred database for all analytics and reporting solutions is because of its in memory. Okay, all traditional databases like Oracle, DB2, MS SQL, guys, they are row store databases. Okay, but whereas HANA is a column store database. Okay, so where data will be stored in form of columns and reading will be very quick. Guys, please, I strongly suggest you, if you don't have an understanding on HANA, I strongly recommend going and do some research in YouTube about the HANA's column store data in memory computing, two-tier architecture. Just go to YouTube, you'll find lot of content in the YouTube or in websites, in different websites, and I strongly recommend reading these things. Okay, guys, how many of you have an understanding on HANA, by the way? You can put it in the chat box. Yes, no, yes, no. A real understanding about these things. A very few yes here and there, but I should have some of my old videos, guys, which I speak about HANA's performance. If I find, I'll upload. Okay, so I'll surely upload so that it will be my session about HANA's reporting performance. Else you can find a lot of content. So one of the main reasons for reporting performance in SAP Analytics Cloud, whether it is a live connection or it is an import connection, because in case of live connection, your source system resides on HANA database, so it gets performance from HANA first thing. In case of an import, the SAC system itself use HANA as a repository. Okay, so obviously you'll get performance. So the major reporting booster here is our database, that is SAP HANA, which is very powerful in terms of reporting and analytics, guys. So I'm not endorsing because it's an SAP product, guys, because I worked on Oracle, I worked on DB2, I worked on a lot of databases, but HANA is in a different league. Okay, I really see. Uh, I also worked on other reporting solutions, guys, like Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense, right? Okay, so these products like Tableau, especially ClickSense and Power BI. Okay, so to improve the reporting performance, they give a cache kind of concept. ClickSense has QVD concept, which acts as a real-time cache. Power BI also has a real-time cache. It means they actually maintain a cache to get the reporting performance. But when it comes to SAP Analytics Cloud, our database itself acts as a real-time cache, right? Our database itself is in memory. Our database itself is data storing in the RAM, right? So cache acts as a temporary RAM, right? Cache really acts as a temporary RAM. Okay. So these products has built internal thing to improve the reporting performance. SAC, the database itself is the real-time cache, right? With data storing in the RAM itself. So when it comes to the reporting performance, I'm not endorsing SAP Analytics Cloud. If you ask me, there are few things where Power BI is better than SAC. There are few things where Click is better than SAC. Okay, but when it comes to reporting performance, SAC is far superior to other reporting solutions, both for live and import connection, even for live also. Okay, far superior in terms of reporting performance because of its backend database, that is SAP HANA. Okay, that's the main USP of this product, guys. If anyone asks me what's the major USP of SAP Analytics Cloud, okay, so that is SAP HANA as a database. The other reporting products cannot have HANA as their database, right? So that's major USP of this product. All right. So yeah, see, so I get high reporting performance on the SAC, okay, because of HANA acting as a database, both for live and import connections. And then we also have a concept like one page refresh and parallel processing, guys. So let me open the story once again. Suppose I'm an end user, I open this story, guys. Only the first page gets refreshed. Guys, today my internet connection is very bad, so it's take more time to render the data. Okay. So here you see, only the first page gets refreshed out of 7 pages. Only the first page gets refreshed and the story will be open in no time. The story will be open in no time with only one page refresh. That's it. So whenever a user visit another page, guys, then that page starts getting refreshed. If the user directly visit location analysis page, I'm in the view mode. I'm in end user mode, guys, right? Okay, now this page is getting refreshed. Now you see it got refreshed now. Okay, so whenever user visit a page, then only that page gets refreshed. Otherwise that page is never refreshed. Okay, so there are two advantages of one page refresh, guys. First, the story waiting time is very less. The user no need to wait for 1 or 2 minutes for the dashboard to get refreshed. It's only first page getting refreshed, right? So user will open the story in no time. Story will be opened in no time. So user will wait for each and every page, but he will wait in bits and pieces so that he never know he's waiting. First thing, user never know he's waiting because he will wait in bits and pieces. He will never wait. For suppose, guys, there are 7 pages. Each page needs 10 seconds to refresh. Okay, so user needs to wait 70 seconds, which is very, very high, which is not at all acceptable. User waiting more than 1 minute is not at all acceptable. In SAC, user waiting for more than 20 seconds is also not acceptable. Okay, so 7 pages, every page needs 10 seconds. So it's not acceptable, right? So if the user is visiting 7 pages, he will wait for 10 seconds here, there, here and there. He will wait for 10 seconds, but he never gets bored or frustrated seeing that story because he'll be waiting in bits and pieces. First thing. And second advantage of one page refresh is only the pages the user visit will be refreshed. Okay, instead of refreshing all the pages in a story, it will refresh only the pages which user visits. So these are two advantages of one page refresh. One page refresh looks like a very simple option, guys, but it actually gives immense satisfaction to the end users because see, he never know he's waiting. Okay, if I open another page like manager analysis, so now you see this page start getting refreshed. Now it is getting refreshed. You know, user waited for almost 5 to 6 seconds, but he's not worried much. Okay, because he's not waiting at a stretch. And again, guys, you visit a page which is already visited, so there is no refresh. There is no refresh. If you visit the same page again and again, there is no refresh. Okay, if you're visiting the new page, then there is a refresh. If I visit a cross sales analysis, which was for the first time, then the widgets start getting refreshed. Okay, make sense? So there is like a one page refresh at a time. So whether it is a story on live model or import model, so SAC has this option of one page refresh for improving the performance. Okay, so it will refresh only the pages user visit. And also, we have a concept of parallel processing, guys. Okay, so parallel processing in the sense you got 10 widgets in a page. You got around 10 widgets in a page. It's not like one first widget gets refreshed, then second widget. So all the 10 widgets will be processed in parallel. All the 10 widgets will be refreshed or processed in parallel. So your page refresh time is nothing but the refresh time of your most complex widget. I repeat, your page refresh time is equal to refresh time of your most complex widget. That's it. So because everything happens in parallel here. That is also beauty of SAP HANA, guys. SAP HANA is like a heavy parallel processing system. Means it offers a high core processors. General Oracle databases comes with 128 to 256 core processors, but whereas HANA starts from 512 core. Okay, so you have many heavy core processor in the background so that you run multiple jobs also. They all will run without any impact on the system. You can run heavy parallel jobs without impacting the system, right? If I open any page, if I open advanced options, you see all the widgets will be refreshed in parallel. So everything is getting refreshed in parallel. So this is the most complex widget. It took higher time. So your what I say is reporting time is nothing but your refresh time is nothing but uh, what we say the refresh time of your most complex widget. Okay, clear? Makes sense? If I refresh this story page once again, if I refresh this page once again, now you see the refresh time of most complex. This one. This is how another performance booster is like a parallel processing. Okay. So guys, one thing I can say with my experience in SAP Analytics Cloud, guys, in SAP Analytics Cloud, reporting performance is never an issue. Okay. There are some thumb rules we need to follow. I'll speak about those thumb rules also very clearly. Okay. To get even better performance, I'll clearly speak about them. When I start reporting with a scenario, I'll speak about those thumb rules. Okay, but in general you really no need to follow anything or you no need to do any settings to improve the performance of a story. Your story by default is high performance enabled because it has HANA as a database, it has one page refresh and heavy parallel processing. So this entire performance booster comes from HANA here, background HANA. Okay, yeah, makes sense. So I'm saying with my experience, guys, we built lot of stories, but performance was never an issue, never a big issue. And unless if you got some complex models in your backend systems like BW HANA. So there also it was never an issue. I really see this, right? Even though we run heavy SAC reports on the live connections also, performance was never a big issue in it. Okay. So if I just cross compare some of the reporting tools here, guys. Guys, you see, uh, if I compare my reporting tools, right? So I always look at these two products, guys, because these has got all the bases covered. Power BI and SAC, these are like two reporting solutions which got all the bases covered here. Okay, so they both offer live connectivity. So guys, if I speak about maybe Tableau offers live connectivity. Okay. So Power BI, SAC, and Tableau, these three products offer live connectivity, whereas ClickSense has no live data connectivity. It doesn't offer live data connectivity at all. Okay, so that's one of the major drawback with ClickSense is you need to import the data into ClickSense to do all the reporting. So it cannot be covered. It cannot be connected in live. So it has got a QED concept where it has to be loaded into the ClickSense QED, and then only you can start reporting there. Okay. So, so two products, SAC, Power BI, and Tableau, three products, they all got live connectivity, but I rate Power BI and SAC better in live connectivity because, guys, SAC has got direct live connectivity to all SAP systems. Power BI has got direct live connectivity to Microsoft products. And for non-SAP, non-Microsoft, we have open connector based. For Tableau, everything is open connector based, which doesn't give heavy reporting performance. For Tableau, everything is open connector, so which impacts the reporting performance. Okay, so
But
it has got live connectivity. So guys, for reporting performance, ClickSense has a cache concept like QED. Even Power BI has got cache concept. But whereas Tableau, they don't have a cache concept, it has to hit the database every time. So major problem with Tableau is its reporting performance. Okay, so when it comes to connectivity, guys, ClickSense don't have a better live connectivity. When it comes to reporting performance, Tableau is weak among all the three because it don't has a cache concept. It has to hit the database every time a user. Okay, refresh the story. But whereas Power BI and ClickSense has got some cache concept, but whereas in SAC, the database itself is a real-time cache because the data is directly storing in the RAM. So database itself is like a real-time cache, right? So in the reporting performance also, I rate everything better, but SAC is bit superior to other reporting tools in case of a reporting performance. In terms of reporting performance, SAC is one step ahead of the other reporting solutions. Okay, so then
but planning
visualization wise,
planning will not be
everything
there,
is
no,
good.
Sujay?
Power BI.
Satya will.
Yes, someone has a question.
Satya, this in Power BI and ClickSense and Tableau, neither has the planning, right? So, does they also
I'm
have the
speaking
planning?
only from reporting comparison, not
Okay,
speaking from planning
all right.
perspective. SAC competes with Hyperion and Anaplan in planning space, not with these tools. Right? Okay. I'm speaking only from reporting standpoint. So guys, one more thing is in terms of visualizations, Power BI, SAC, all four products has got very good visualizations. But I like ClickSense better than these because of its some ClickSense has got some better features, better API features, which makes it even better reporting solution in, than when compared to Power BI and SAC. Okay, and then finally, only two products has augmented analytics, guys, like new age ML based augmented options. So only Power BI and SAC. Power BI has got very basic augmented options, guys. SAC is better than Power BI in terms of augmented analytics. Anyway, I'll be covering augmented analytics in right now. We are in session 10, right? Session 16, 17, I'll be covering augmented analytics. Okay. So if I rate, guys, if I rate among the reporting tools, I cover Power BI and SAC because they cover all the bases. They have live connectivity. They offer very good visualizations. They offer a cache concept to for reporting performance, and they also support augmented analytics. These four products cover all the bases. Whereas ClickSense and Tableau don't have augmented analytics. They don't have augmented analytics. ClickSense don't have live connectivity, whereas Tableau don't have cache. So these two products has some issues here and there, but only two products cover all the bases of reporting is Power BI and SAC. They both are equally good, guys. In few cases, I like Power BI. In few things, I like SAC. Okay. In performance and augmented, I like SAC. New age features, I like SAC. But in few visualizations, few options of reporting, I like Power BI. So I worked on both products very detailed way. Okay, I built uh, some objects in both these products. I worked on Click also, but out of these three, I really like these SAC and Power BI. Okay. So when you compare any of the reporting solutions, like when an organization, right, makes some comparison for the reporting, so these two products covers all the bases. Okay. If it is an SAP customer, right, so obviously Analytics Cloud will be the first choice because of the direct live connectivity with SAP systems. If it is a Microsoft customer, Power BI will be the first choice. If it is non-SAP, non-Microsoft, they can pick any reporting tool from the list. any reporting tool from the list will work. Okay, make sense? On the reporting performance, anyone, any questions here? Okay, guys, I strongly recommend take some time over the weekend and understand more about HANA. Okay, because I see most of the people's giving it as a no for SAP HANA. Okay, so what makes HANA so quick? So you can simply go to YouTube, just do some basic videos, just watch some basic videos on SAP HANA. So what makes HANA so quick? Or you can type these also: column store database in HANA, in-memory computing in HANA, two-tier architecture in HANA. So you can also search in this format also. Auto compression in HANA, like that. Okay. So guys, any questions on story performance here? Anyone, any questions? This is about the reporting performance and also the reporting tool comparisons, just to give you some clarity. Okay, right. Okay, guys, now take a break. So we covered the story related options. Let's take a break for 10 minutes or something. So we'll again regroup at 9, and I'll start working on hyperlinking, explorer options, and also on some additional options in the reporting. Hyperlink explorer and additional options in the reporting. Okay, so my agenda is to cover both parts, guys. Like whatever we missed on Thursday and Friday, I'd like to cover today so that we'll be on the track. Okay, so right, let's regroup at 9 and I'll cover this remaining topics. Stopping the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we got like these reporting tool comparisons now. Okay, now let's move on to hyperlinks and explorer. Give me a moment, please. Let me create hyperlinks. Okay, so guys, now let's go on to hyperlinking. If I speak about hyperlinks, Okay, so guys, hyperlink is also, some people call it as jump query. Like you can actually jump from one story to the other story, or we can access some external URLs. Okay, external websites or URLs from a story. Okay, or you can jump hyper. Okay, so let me create some kind of hyperlinking so that you understand it much better. So generally, guys, SAC has got two types of reporting. Like one is analytic reporting and second one is operational reporting. So we got like two types of reporting, right? Analytic reporting is like more summarized reporting where we actually deal with the overall numbers. Okay, it's like data in a more and more summarized format where we deal with overall numbers. Okay, and we also show the data in a beautiful visualization. Like we actually make use of visualizations. Okay, so it's majorly used by the high level management for decision making. So this analytic reporting is majorly used by the high level management for decision making. Suppose guys, here you see retail sales report, right? It gives a complete picture, right? What's your gross margin, overall discount. So this is like more summarized, right? How much margin has been generated from different products, how much margin has been generated in different regions, right? So like that we see all the analysis, right? So this is like more of a summarized reporting. This is more of analytic reporting, guys. Okay, so analytic reporting is like data in a more in a summarized format, and also more summarized way, and we also show that through visualizations. Okay, and it is majorly used by the high level managements for all kind of a decision making. So then second kind of dashboards are kind of operational dashboards, which you already know, like most of the people using BobJ understand this. So where you show the data in details, completely in a detailed information, where we show the data in both tabular and visualization format. Okay, so in operational reporting, we make both use of tabular format where we show the data details in table format, and also in form of visualizations. So this is majorly used by the lower level management, like your managers, like your store managers, your operational managers, inventory managers, warehouse managers, right? Your finance expense managers, right? So your normal finance teams, your sales teams, your inventory teams make use of this detailed reports. Okay, and they run their day-to-day operations. So we run the daily operations through using these operational reports. Okay, analytic reporting is majorly used for high level decision making, whereas operational reporting is used for to run your day-to-day operations. Okay, so these are like the two types of reporting we have. Analytic reporting is kind of some heavy summarized information where we actually look at the overall numbers only. Okay, so operational reporting is more of details, like what's happening in the so you can see the data in order level, sales order level, or store level. It's like a more and more detailed information. Okay, right? So if you have too many details, we cannot show through visualizations. We make use of tables, right? Right, we have a grid page, right, where we shown all the details in a tabular format, right? Even this best run sales details also, best run sales analysis story also, we have a grid page where we shown all the details in form of a table. Okay, that is more of operational reporting is what we call. Okay, so generally so hyperlink actually gives an option provision to for suppose guys, in an analytic story, you have an analytic report where you're seeing the overall sales by country. You're seeing the sales by country. For suppose your organization is operating in 5 countries, you're seeing all the sales by country. In one country, for suppose in country United States, you're seeing the sale number, the number is very low, not up to the mark. So what you want to see the details, guys. In that case, you really want to see some kind of a details on the sales of United States. Okay, and you have all the sales details in another dashboard, that is operational report. We never create analytic and operational in one story, guys, because we target different users for different reporting. So we cannot create analytic and means both in one story. So but you have all the operational details in another story. Okay, in that case, what user needs to, he needs to close this story and again open that story operational dashboard. Okay, but if you have a hyperlink in place between these two stories, guys, you can make use of hyperlink and jump from an analytic report which shows the overall information to the operational stories which shows all the data details. and he will see the details only for the country in United States. Means when he jump right with United States in picture, he will see the details only for United States. Okay, so that is how your hyperlinks work. Okay, so let me create some hyperlinks so that you understand this hyperlink in much better way. Okay, so you understood, right? Like analytic reporting and operational reporting, SAC supports both. So let me first create a hyperlink from between the pages. Okay, I go to some widget. Yeah, I'll go to this widget here. I'll say, I'll go to this widget. Let's say add a hyperlink. Add a hyperlink. You see, go to more actions. You see an option called add. In the add, you see an option called hyperlink. Link to none. You have 4 options in hyperlink. Link to a page in the story, same story. Link to another page in the same story. Link to another story, or link to an external URL or a mobile application URL. So I'll be creating 3 hyperlinks, one with page, one with story, and one with external URL. I'll go with an option called link to a page. What page of the stories? First page, second page, specific page. I'll go specific page. My specific page is sales details. I have a grid page, right? Where I would like to see all the sales details. Okay. And apply selected dimension as a filter on that page. So here you see, I select California, so that will be applied as a filter on that sales details page. And you should have a cascading effect on existing filters. Fine, say done. Now let's go save your story once. Okay, so now we see here, you click on California. Here there is an option called jump to sales details. Okay, you see an option, right? Like once you click on California, you see an option called jump to sales details. If I click on jump to sales details, it will be jump to the sales details page. Here now you see I'm into the sales details page, but it filters California. So it will show the details only for California. Now you see the details only for location California. You're not seeing data for any other locations. Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, so this is like you got a details page, right? So I jump from one page to another page. But suppose guys, you want to jump to another story. So let me create one operational dashboard on this best on sales details. Let me create one operational story. So this is kind of an analytic report, right? So let me create an operational story. I'll go create a new story on the same model best run use. I'll start with the grid page. I would like to see the heavy details. Start with grid page. Grid page is supported only in classic design experience. So I'll go with classic design experience only. Okay. Let's say put a table into this grid. Choose the model. What model you want to pick. Samples. Best run. Okay. So in this, I'll go at multiple measures, the gross margin, discount. Okay, guys, let me pick few dimensions here, like product, location, store, sales manager. Okay, we'll pick this way, and in the columns, we'll pick date. Okay, as you want to see some net sales also in this case, let's go here, go add a calculation on the account. So a new calculated measure I'm creating, net sales, which is nothing but gross sales minus discount. Okay, so now you see the values like net sales, gross margin, gross sales, and everything. So here I go. Right now it shows all the data. So guys, I created a pure operational story where I'm showing the data in very much detailed format. Okay, but I want the user to play with his own data. So in this case, we need to give a lot of filters, guys. Generally, in analytic reporting, we don't give much of the story filters. The reason is, which shows all the overall informations there. Okay, in a summarized format. But in this case, let me just go save the story. We'll give lot of reporting filters on the detailed dashboard so that user can play with the data. I'll go it as best run sales details. Okay, give some story filters. I'll give it on location. Allow viewers to modify selection. I'll also give it on product, result, alcohol, carbonated drinks and juices. Everything I'm going for dynamic filters. The dimensions. I'll create it on store also. As of now, I create all, select all stores. I'll create it on date dimension as well. Okay. So guys, here I go. I select one store. You see the details for that store only. So you see only these. You see the details for the store. The user can actually play with the data by making use of the store filters. If I select only, even in California also I select only one city, LA. You'll see the details for LA only. Right? This is how you see that only for California all stores. Okay, even in California, you select particular store like budget mark. You see only the records. Clear? Makes sense. The user can actually play with information using this. Let's say, so I created a proper operational story. So with all details, sales details in a very much detailed format. Okay, and I given all the filters here. So fine. So I created an operational dashboard also. Now I have two stories here. Now let's make use a hyperlink to jump from the story which shows the overall information to the story which gives the details. Okay, so we can actually jump from multiple widgets to this operational story. Let me just show you. So I would like to see all the product based analysis, guys. So here I go to this widget, let's say, add a hyperlink, link to a story. Story I'll choose is best run sales details. And it got only one page, so sales detail page. So it will be jumped to the story. Open a new tab, open the story in a new tab and say apply selected dimension as a filter on that story. So whatever the dimension you select, it will be applied as a filter there. Let's say done. Save this up. So here I go carbonated rings. If I click on carbonated rings, you see an option right, jump to retail sales details. So it will jump to retail sales details and show details only for carbonated rings product, only for the product carbonated rings. Then I will see it is opening the details story in a new tab. Let's wait, it's taking some time. And I see you seeing the data only for carbonated drinks. Here also you see there is a filter applied on carbonated drinks. Okay. Similarly, you can link multiple widgets, guys. You want to do, suppose store. I want to link a store. See the details for a particular store. Here I have stores, right? So here I go. Let me add hyperlink. Sorry guys, I already, yeah. So let's say link it to a story. Choose your story. Best run details, you got sales detail tab. Open that story in a new tab, apply selected dimension as filter. Fine. Say done. Sorry, sir, not.
So Satya, every time you are saying and we are getting some option like keep models and all. What is that?
Hmm. See,
So
there
while
is one
saving the
model which I didn't use for the, right. I got two models, right? One is best and second one is planned events. Planned events model, do I have in this story? I didn't use it in any of the widgets.
okay.
If I go to gross sales analysis now, I select a particular store. Tekka's Food Center. Here you see jump to sales details. It will show the details for only that Tekka's Food Center, only for that store. So you see the data for only this Tekka's Food Center. So like that, we can actually link multiple widgets, guys. One is product will be linked, one is story linked. Another you can do like a manager linked. Okay. You want to link your top managers, right? There you go. Add hyperlink here to link to your story. And from one widget, you can link a location like that. Open a new tab, apply selected dimensions, filter, say done. You want to see the details for Kiran Raj only? Let's go. Click on Kiran Raj. Jump to sales details. You'll see the data for only that particular manager. So different widgets can be linked to this story. So in different formats, one manager is linked, in another case store, on another case like that. You see data only for Kiran Raj. Here you see, right? That is how it works. As you can also link a table also using hyperlinks, but it's not like a dimensional link. Here you see add. I can add a hyperlink from table also, but only problem is link to a story. Details. Open a new tab. Apply selected dimension as a filter. You see once you have a hyperlink in place. Okay, I select this David car and say navigate to best on sales details. Yeah, so here I selected, right? David car, navigate to best on sales details. Seeing the data only for David car. So like that, you can add your hyperlinking from the tables also. Okay, select what manager you want to link. Select that manager first. Place your cursor here and then navigate. Right, so I shown you how we do hyperlink from one story to other story, from manager, from store, from product I created, right? Okay, so I did hyperlinking from page to page in the same story, one story to another story here. And also we can link some external URLs also, guys, making use of hyperlinks. Okay, what I do is here, let's go file. We go to the first page, sales analysis page. Okay, so guys, I would like to access some kind of an external website like uh, okay, so here I'll insert a text box. I would like to see the stock price of my organization's current stock price. For suppose this company is SAP, so I just go like SAP stock price. Okay. So first let me search for SAP stock price. Guys, here you see in Google Finance, I search for SAP stock price. So this is the website it should open whenever user search for it. Let's say copy this. Okay. So then I'd go like add a hyperlink, link to an external URL. My external URL is this. Open a new tab. Oh my god, only stock got a sorry guys. I'll just go like I'll say none. Let's say done. Guys, just give me a moment, please. Just a minute. I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys. So here you see, for this, okay, let me add hyperlink. I'll do one thing. Oh, so right click, let's say add hyperlink, link to an external URL. Open that in a new tab. Yep. Okay. So now if any user come and click on this, maybe I'll go on to the view mode so that you understand this much better. Okay. If any user come and select this SAP stock price, so it will open this website straight away. You can also integrate some of your external websites also, guys, into your stories, making use of hyperlink. Okay, I cannot open a mobile application URL from this. Same process, guys. For mobile app URL also you need to give the URLs only. Okay, so I created some kind of a hyperlink here, guys. All types of reporting. Maybe I'll stop here for today. So in the next session, maybe in the session 11, I'll work on Explorer. Okay, and also some additional options in the reporting. Okay, and also we'll start with data modeling. Start with introduction to data modeling. All right. So I stop here. Thank you all. Have a great day. Thank you so much.